Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. We're just going to give 1 or 2 more minutes for everybody to pop on who is attending the virtual information session. Okay, so as folks are joining us, I wanted to go ahead and introduce myself. So my name is Kim Kirby. I am the Director of Graduate Student Services here in the College of Business at Appalachian State. I've been here for about 6 years. I am an alum of the MBA program, so I can definitely attest that it was a fantastic decision that I made. Graduated in 2007 with my bachelor's degree in computer information systems, and then in 2008 with my MBA. So I'm excited to be on this side of the stage, kind of sharing a little bit more about the program and its benefits and how you can benefit from it. So we'll go ahead and get started. This will be available for playback. I'll post this on our website at the place that you registered, so you can go back and listen to it if you have any questions. So as far as application deadlines and requirements, so there are a couple deadlines to keep in mind if you're thinking about applying. So we do have rolling admission, so students can apply for fall, spring, or summer. If you're applying for fall, the due date for that is July 1. If you're applying for spring, the due date for that is November 1. And if you're applying for summer, the due date for that is April 1. So that is a hard date. That's everything in. That's your completed application, official transcripts from all institutions attended, 3 letters of recommendation, copy of your resume, GMAT or GRE score, and then there's also a personal statement. One thing I tell applicants is you want to keep in mind, it does take about 2 to 3 weeks for your scores to upload to your application, so you want to keep that in mind when planning your test dates. So if the due date for fall is July 1, you don't want to take that June 30th because then you miss the boat on that. So that's just something to keep in mind. Then what will happen is once we receive your application from the graduate school, they turn it over to us and ready for review mode. And then if selected, we bring you in for an interview. And that is a 30-minute panel interview, more of an opportunity for you to get to know us get to know you, make sure it's a good fit on both ends. And then you usually hear an admission decision within a couple weeks after that. So we try to make the application process as fluid as possible. And then you should hear something. We want to help you make your plans on your end. So we certainly don't want to take a lot of time with that. So one question I get a lot is there a GMAT or GRE waiver? So recently the graduate school did institute this. So if you have a 3.0 undergraduate GPA and 5 or more years of professional and or military work experience, the graduate school will waive this for you. So that is fantastic. Also, if you have been inducted into the Beta Gamma Sigma Honor Society, with proof, of course, that will also allow the graduate school to waive that for you, or if you already have a completed master's degree. So as far as steps for that, I always recommend, there is a little essay that you have to fill out, but you can certainly send me that information and I can forward it over to the graduate school for their review. So some of the advantages about our program, like I mentioned, first, just congratulations for even being on this call. Like you see here, less than 8% of the world's population has a master's degree. So that's a step in the right direction. We do offer rolling admission, so you do have that flexibility, to join, whether it's fall, spring, or summer. So that's pretty nice. We are open to all undergraduate degrees. So this means you don't have to have a business degree to apply to our program. So that's one question I get a lot. So we have people come from all different backgrounds, different age ranges, you name it. So that's something that we do pride ourselves on. If for some reason you did come from a non-business background, there may be some prerequisites that you need to take. So I always say the first step is really you'll want to send me an email with 1, a copy of your resume, and 2, unofficial transcripts, so that what I can do is do a review to determine what, if any, prerequisites you might need upon admission to the program. We do have 6 prerequisites. So accounting, finance, economics, management, marketing, and statistics. We require a B- or higher in order to fulfill those. And really, as far as options for completing prerequisites, there are two. You can either take the undergraduate level version of the class. Some people prefer like a student to professor interaction, or we have an online accelerated testing module option where for $150 per test per course, you can complete the prerequisite. So what that looks like is you would pay us $150 and you'd say this is for accounting, for example. Once you pay, you get an email from IB Software. That email will contain all the study materials that you need for the prerequisite. So it'll have online tutorials, chapter quizzes, various exercises that you take, and so forth. And then the estimated takes about 20 to 30 hours to complete a prerequisite. That does include the cost of a tutor, so that if you have questions along the way, Lewis can tutor you through that. And then once you've gone through all the module material, you take a recorded final exam, and you have to make a 75% or higher to pass. Once you pass, you're done, and you've met that prerequisite. If you don't pass, it's $150 to take it again. So that's something to keep in mind. We do have dedicated advising as well as dedicated career services. So that's really nice. With our advisor, you would set up an appointment with her, and she plans out your program of study from the day that you start the program to the day that you finish. So it's really nice. You're not thrown to the wolves as far as planning your own schedule. She kind of plans it for you, and then you can register yourself. We also have dedicated career services. So we have like a employer relations person that really helps to find you a job and work with you to give you the skill sets that you need for that position. As far as our program offerings, so the one that this virtual information session is focused specifically on is our on-campus program. We do offer 7 different concentrations. We have business analytics, economics, interdisciplinary business, which is like 9 hours of anything, international business, human resources, supply chain management, and sustainable business. So if there is a specific area that you're interested in, you can concentrate in that. We do have our night program on campus as well, if you're interested in that. That is a 2-year night program where you get the interdisciplinary business concentration. So that's nice for people who are like working professionals here in the high country or anything like that. You can earn your MBA part-time in 2 years by taking classes in the evenings face-to-face. We also have our Distance Ed MBA program, which is our part-time evening program based in Hickory, North Carolina. You also get the interdisciplinary business concentration with that program. But that's nice because we have a lot of folks that come from like the Triad, Charlotte, Hickory, Lenoir region who can earn their MBA part-time in 2 years. Now that program is a hybrid program where about 60 to 70% of the classes are online and 30 to 40% are face-to-face. So it's nice because you still have that flexibility, but you also get that face-to-face component, which we think is really valuable. I am doing a virtual information session this Thursday at 12 noon to talk specifically about the Hickory program. So if you're interested in that, I definitely encourage you to register for that so you can tune in. So like I mentioned here are the 7 different concentrations that are on campus. One question I always get is, are dual degrees an option? And absolutely. So the graduate school will allow you to double count up to 50% of the lowest credit program between 2 master's degrees. So currently we have 4 dual degree programs that we have approved. We have MBA with a Master in Public Administration, MBA with IOHRM, which is kind of a mouthful, Industrial Organizational Psychology and Human Resources Management, an MBA in Higher Education, and an MBA in Engineering Physics. So we've partnered with each of these programs to kind of come up with a formalized dual degree plan that will allow students to double count kind of those 18 hours. So one other program benefit that we offer is our executive skills class, and this is part of all of our programs, whether it's in Hickory or on campus or our night program. But this class is really designed to enhance your soft skills when being in the business world. So there's a lot of professional development. We do, you get, your resume reviewed, you'll do mock interviews, you'll have different leaders come in and speak to you about professional development and different leadership type activities. We do a great dining etiquette seminar, business etiquette, you name it. So this is a really good opportunity for students to participate in. The other piece that I wanted to mention that's part of our full-time MBA program is business practicum and internship opportunities. So with our 1-year program, our full-time program, our students do what's called a business practicum or a business analytics project in their very last semester. So depending on when they enter, it would be their last semester. But really, they would be set up with a local company to do a project for. They become your client. You present to them at the end. it is like real world work experience. So it's really good when you go to get that big job. And, you know, employers like to hear a lot about what you did in that practicum or analytics project, because it is like real world work experience. And it's really good because sometimes these can even translate into full-time jobs. So that's a great way to get your foot in the door in an industry that you might want to be in. So some of our highlights that we're really proud of, we have a number of prestigious recognitions that you can see there on the screen. You know, certainly we are one of the best bang for your buck institutions when it comes to an MBA. We are AACSB accredited. There are multiple certification opportunities. So one in particular, we have the BB&T Leadership Certification through BB&T. This would normally cost you $7,000 if you were to do it on your own or through a company, but they come and do it for free for our students because of that partnership. We also have a green belt in Six Sigma. So our department chair of supply chain actually works with a third-party company to allow our students to get green belt certified. So that's a really neat opportunity there, and you know, obviously great for you to build on your skill sets. It is a working professional environment, so you will, you know, what we see in our classes is that our students not only, you know, interact with our prestigious faculty, but, you know, because it is such a strong program, we have people from all walks of life in the program. And so that's something we take pride in. One other question I always get is, you know, are there funding opportunities? So absolutely. You can do a graduate assistantship where for 10 hours a week, paid at $15 an hour, you can work with somebody here in the College of Business if you're awarded this. You know, you would be set up with somebody in the COB, maybe do some work for them, research, whatever they might need. Then there are scholarship opportunities. There's general scholarships and international scholarships. And so that's great because, you know, if you're awarded one of those, then that can go toward tuition, funding, or your specific international trip that you might be going on. So one of the things that we also take pride in is our international experience. And so we do have, that is part of our core curriculum where generally our students will go on a short-term study abroad. So they have been to a number of places, you know, anywhere from Thailand to Brazil to China to Japan to Cuba, you name it. So there's so many opportunities, but in these opportunities, they work with international students, maybe do a project with them. They do a lot of business visits. They do a lot of historical sightseeing, you name it. Usually the trips will take place over like winter break, spring break, that kind of thing, just so it doesn't interfere with classes too much. And then like I mentioned before, travel scholarships are available that you can apply for. You just apply for them in the semester in which you're traveling. But with that, normally, I think the trips usually you pay from a financial perspective. You pay cost of tuition for the class on top of cost of the trip. And cost of trip will usually range from about $2,900 to $3,900 depending on where you go. And these are just some pictures from our previous trips that our students have done. You can just see that they've had a wonderful time. So this is just an example of a full-time one-year schedule. You know, like I said, it is a 36-hour program. So let's say a student wants to come in the fall, they would do 12 hours in the fall, 12 hours in the spring, 6 hours summer 1, 6 hours summer 2, and then graduate that August. So that kind of gives you an idea of what that looks like. This is an example of our part-time night program on campus. So if a student were doing the night program on campus, they would do 2 classes in the fall, 2 classes in the spring, 1 summer 1, 1 summer 2, and then repeat. If they stay on that track, they will graduate in 2 years. One other thing that we really like to encourage our students to do is truly get involved. We do have an awesome community. We have an awesome Executive Impact Club, which is our graduate programs club here in the College of Business. So they are fantastic at getting students involved. They do service opportunities, they do socials, they do business visits. I know they've gone to Boeing and Target and all kinds of places. So definitely encourage our students to get involved in that. And these are just some pictures of kind of what they've done in the past. You know, I know once a month they have different companies come and talk to them, and they have free food and drinks, and the members can just come and enjoy and kind of network with one another as well as these business professionals. Now that kind of concludes our info session. At this time, I am certainly happy to open it up to any questions that anybody might have. You know, certainly if you think of any questions that you might have, you can give me a call or, you know, you can shoot me an email. I'm at KirbyKO appstate.edu, as well as you can call me at 828-262-2092. But are there any questions that I can address at this time before we hang up? All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for hopping on and listening in. And I hope that you guys have a good rest of the day. And take care.